ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 32, verse number 1. So this is continuation of the Rāsa-Panchadhyay. The previous chapter we read the song of the gopis in separation from Krishna, in which they pray for Krishna's appearance, and they are very disturbed, feeling how much Krishna must be suffering, wandering in the forest barefoot with his soft feet. So this was enough for Krishna. He could not take more than that. Only his strong, steady forbearing, but he has his limit. So when he heard the last verse, Yatte Sujat Charnambaru Hastaneshu, Bhītāsane priyadadimahi karkashesha tainatvamotsi tadvyattena kimsit kurpadibhirbhamti dhirbhavadayusam. So after that he could not contain himself. He appears now. So Sri Shuka Uvacha, Sri Sukdev said, Iti gopyah pragayantya pralapantyascha chitradha ruruduhu suswaram rajan Krishna darsana lalasa. Sukdev Goswami said that, O king, in this way the gopis, they were singing in separation, and also pralapanti, they are also talking, and pralap means some things which are not very coherent. Chitradha, in many different ways, in various ways, as we heard, different bhavas, different feeling, and then they started crying. So Ruruduhu Suswaram Rajan, but their crying was also very melodious, very harmonious, like a symphony. Suswaram, it was with proper tal and swara. So why they did that? Krishna darsana lalasa, that they were very eager to have Krishna darshan. And this crying is not for their own self. Though you hear many times people speaking that if you want to have darshan of Krishna, you have to cry for him. So that is true, but the gopis' crying is not the crying of ordinary people. They are crying thinking how much Krishna is suffering. So as we have been reading in the past 3 chapters, that their concept of happiness is only in relationship with Krishna and not independently. So therefore it is understood here that they are not crying because of their own suffering, but they are suffering because Krishna may be suffering. They conjectured that he is wandering and why is he doing this? And that's why they said Brahmati Dhir Bhavadayusham. So seeing his suffering, that he is just wandering aimlessly in the forest, if he has some problem with us, he should come and tell us. If he wants us to go back, we'll go back. But why trouble himself? So that is the cause of their crying. So knowing this, then Krishna has to appear now. So dvatrinse harirayataha swang bhave shukokti bhi pujitah pratipujyayata premokta rinitam adhat. So in this 32nd chapter, there is description of appearance of Sri Krishna, and there is also worship, pujita, being worshipped by swang bhave, by the movements of their bodily limbs, and pratipujyayata, premukta. Then Krishna himself will honor them with words of love, and rinitam adhat, feeling indebted to the gopis. So this is what is described here in this chapter. So they are very much troubled, and they are crying in the mood of humility, danya bhav. Because earlier also it was said that when Krishna saw that there is some man and some pride. Then Krishna disappeared to quell their pride. So in separation they all became very humble. And that's what we saw in the Gopi Gita. So there is a very nice statement by Nimbarkacharya in the sloki Kripasya Dhanni Yuji Prajayate, that Sri Krishna's Kripa manifests on a person who is humble, Dhanya. Which Mahaprabhu also says, Tranadapi Sunichayana Taroli Vasaishvana Amani Namanadena. So this is the situation now of the gopis. Of course they are so elevated people. There is no question of pride in them. Pride is there, that is also to give pleasure to Krishna. So Sri Vishnath Chakravarti, he comments Chitradha, that Rurudu Suswaram Rajan. So Chitradha, Rurudu, Chitradha Pralampantya, that in very various amazing ways, astonishing ways, wonderful ways they were crying. So he says, Ashcharya Tan Taladi Prakarena Pragayante, that they were singing in the most wonderful beats and notes, this song which we heard. And Ati Vaivasya Udrekat Pralapantyascha, and because of their helplessness, not knowing what to do, they were also doing pralapa, which basically means babbling, means talking some things which may not make sense. Like earlier we saw that they were imitating. And then they just cried. Like when you become totally helpless, then you cry. That's what people do, human beings. Children cry. Sometimes you see grown-up people also cry. So when they feel helpless, that they cannot do anything, things go beyond their control, then they become humble and cry. So that's the last thing they did. First they were talking and singing, then crying. And then this is what made Krishna appear there. Because Krishna is also in love with them and he cannot tolerate seeing them crying. Just like you see somebody cry, your heart becomes soft. Try to console the person who is crying. So this is what happened to Krishna also. But now, appearing in front of them, he has to be very tactful, because he has to face all these gopis, and there are various types, Sapaksha gopis, Vipaksha gopis, and Sruhidpaksha gopis, Nirpekshas, all that. So there is Vamya, there is Dakshina. So he has to tackle the complete situation. It's not just one person that you go and you have to explain to one person. There are millions of them. So how Krishna will handle this situation, this is amazing thing. So this verse is very interesting. Tasam avir bhuchaurihi smayaman mukhambujaha pitambaradhara shragvi sakshan manmatha. So Shauri, so it is also interesting word used here, that it's not Nandanandan, not this, but Shauri, which also means son of a valorous person. So he manifested in their midst, Tasam, and he was smiling. smayamana mukhambuja. So, although he may have felt pain in his heart, because he heard gopis crying, because he was not too far away, he was just hiding nearby, listening to everything they were singing and talking. So he felt pain, but now he is coming with a smile on his face. So smile may have different purposes. One is that they are crying, so if somebody is crying, you also start crying with them, and they will cry more. So you at least smile. And they were crying thinking Krishna must be suffering. So if he comes smiling, then they will be comforted that he is alright, there is nothing wrong with him. Because earlier they were having this anishta shanka. They had this anxiety that something may be wrong with him. But he comes smiling, then they know that. Doesn't have to say anything. The smile will say everything. Krishna's smile especially says a lot. So many times he smiles, Senior Madhya, and he's speaking to Arjuna, Smayaniva. So he's having little smile. So he may be disturbed inside seeing them crying, but outside at least he smiles. And then he is coming with his pitambar. So pitambar dhara, so it seems that he was putting his yellow upper cloth in a very special way when he came. Otherwise pitambara is enough. Pitambara is a pitambar samas, it is a bahurihi. But then pitambar dhara, so pitambar dharati iti pitambar dhara, there is a rule that if you can make this sense with bahurihi, then you don't need to make this Syamram samas. So Sragvi, and he had a garland which was probably given by them, so they know he's having our garland. But the most important word is Sakshat Manmatha Manmatha. So Manmatha literally means which churns your mind, which is a word used for Cupid, because Cupid disturbs people of the material world. And then he is the Cupid of the Cupid. Means Cupid becomes disturbed. He churns the mind of the Cupid. Cupid churns the mind of the people, and Krishna churns the mind of the Cupid himself. But here the word Sakshat is used. Sakshat Manmatha Manmatha. So that means there is this material Cupid. There is a spiritual Cupid, that is Pradyumna, Krishna's son. So he is a Manmatha for Sakshat Manmatha, not for this material one. Material one has no chance in front of him. So that means he is the ultimate in beauty. There is nothing higher than that. He is most beautiful. His roops, Madhuri, is unparalleled. That's why even Mahavishnu wanted to see him. We read in Krishna Sandarbha that he was stealing the sons of the Brahmana so that Krishna could come. He could not come himself. It's too huge to enter into one. These Brahmandas come out of his body. So Krishna has to go there. So therefore he is called here as Sakshan Manmatha Manmatha. So therefore anyone who sees, then they will forget. Their mind is already charmed. If they had any complaint or anything, or any other ideas, it disappears. seeing him. Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Shariri iti Shauriri iti. So Shri Gopijan Pakshasya Shri Shukdevasya Krishnam Prati Asuya Ukti. So he takes the meaning of the word Shauri, Tasam Avirbhut Shaurihi, because Shauri is name of Krishna in Mathura, not in Braj. So he is son of Sursena, coming in the dynasty of Sursena. Sursena is Vasudev's father. So he says that Sukdev Goswami, who is empathizing with the gopis, so he was very upset with Krishna. And therefore he used the word Shauri, because Shauri signifies a Kshatriya. So he says, Kutila Antakaran Kshatriya Jati Udbhavattvadeva. He says he is too harsh. Cowherd people are not harsh like that. That gopis also said earlier, remember? Nakalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan. That you are not son of Yashoda. How can you be so cruel? Yashoda is not cruel like that. So therefore he uses the word Shauri, that he is a crooked Kshatriya, and that's why he has given this much trouble. So Sukdev was also siding with the gopis and speaks in a disturbed mood. So he says, because being a Kshatriya, belonging to a Kshatriya clan, Krishna Premvatibhya Abhya Etavad Dukkham Dattva Swashauriyam Prakati Chakara. So he has manifested his chivalry to the gopis by giving them pain like this, by disappearing. So this is possible only from Kshatriyas, because Kshatriyas are more harsh, they have to fight, and they fight even among themselves and family members. So this is called Daruna Dharma of the Kshatriya, the cruel dharma of Kshatriyas to fight. Yadi saralantakarana gop jati jato abhavishyat tada naivam abhivashyat iti artha vyanjika. He says, if Krishna was actually born in the cowherd family, cowherd clan, who are very simple-hearted, straightforward people. Cowherd people are not complex, because they are not doing any polity. They don't have to deal with various types of people. It is Kshatriyas who have to administer, who have to rule, who have to manage. Then they have to deal with all types of people. Cowherd people deal with cows in land. Cows don't make politics. So he says, if he was actually born in the simple-hearted cowherd family, then he would not have done like this. So this is the Vyanjana here. This is the implied sense of the word Shauri. So this is how Vyanjana Vritti works, that he uses just one word and it can convey meaning. So this is called Shabdi Vyanjana. Vyanjana is of two types, Arthi Vyanjana, Shabdi Vyanjana. That Vyanjana which is based on some word, and sometimes it is only in the sense, not a particular word. So Shabdi Vyanjana based on Shabda means that if you use another word which may mean the same, it will not have the sense, it can lose that sense. It has to be that particular one. So because here Shauri, Shura, heroic, That's the word Shaurya also comes from that. Ateva tasam dukkhayapi prafulla mukhaha. And therefore, although they were suffering, he was smiling. Who can do that? So this is the prafulla sabda, just came in our Kridanta Prakarana last class. It's from full dhatu, ta pratyaya, actually phala dhatu, not even full. Char phali or te, to the sutra. So even when they are in that miserable state, he is smiling. So this is one way of looking. Vastutastu smayamanam tasam anandanartham eva. So now he comes to the real meaning, because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also takes little fun in giving his commentary. He says actually the real meaning is that he was smiling to give pleasure to the gopis, because if he comes in an unhappy mood, then they will be suffering more, then there will be an anxiety, what happened, why are you like this? Everybody will become curious. But if he comes smiling, then he's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. So therefore to give them happiness, because Krishna, just as gopis give happiness and they're always thinking of giving pleasure to Krishna, Krishna also reciprocates in the same way. Whatever he does for his devotees. So prafulli kritam mukhambujam eva hridambujam tu santaptam eva yasya. So this smayamana also implies that it was only the face which was happy, but inside he was also feeling their pain. But he didn't want them to know this. Pitambaraha skandabhyam puro lambiti kritya hastabhyam dharati tisa. So now he says that why the word pitambar dhara is used here. He says that he was having his pitambara in his neck, and then he was holding it in his hand like this. Like this is a gesture of humility. When you want to bag something, then you take the cloth in the hand and touch person's feet. In India they do that. They have their cap or something take in the hand, upper cloth in the hand, and then bow down. So it is as if he is showing his danyata in front of them, that please don't be mad at me. So that is the meaning. Otherwise the word pitambara itself is enough. So pitambar dhara means that he was holding the pitambara, not that he is wearing pitambara. That sense can come simply by the word pitambara. So that's what he says here. Pitambara skandabhyam puro lambiti kritya, that the pitambara was hanging on his shoulders, and then hastabhyam dharati, and then he's holding it in his hands. Why? Aparadham kshamaitum iti bhava. So to ask for forgiveness for his offense to the gopis. So he doesn't have to say it. Shragviti prayasya eva paridhapitam shrajam tam darshaitum iti bhava. And Shragavi sakshan manmatha matmatha, that he is having a garland in his neck. So he says that to show that he is having the garland given by the prayasi, by the gopis. So means he is respecting them. Sakshan manmatho yas mashtihi kamastasyapi mano mathanati. So Sakshat Manmath is the one who is the presiding deity of the kama, material desire, which churns the mind of everyone. So he disturbs, agitates or attracts Disturbing or agitating or churning here means that he attracts the mind even of that. So Jagan Mohanamapi Kandarpam Mohetum Ayantam Stri Bhavam Prapaye Tatha Moha Masa Yatha Soapi Krishna Saundaryam Drishtva Kandarpa Shar Pidito Mumoheti Artha. So what is the meaning? He says that this Kandarpa or Cupid is that who bewilders the whole world, everyone. And when he sees Krishna, then Mohitum Ayantam Stri Bhavam Prapaya. Then even this Kandarpa takes the mood of a woman and then gets attracted to Krishna. So therefore he bewilders him. So that is the beauty of Krishna. Yatha soapi Krishna saundaryam drishtva kandarpa shar pridito mumoha. So the meaning is that the Cupid also gets struck by the arrows of Cupid and becomes infatuated by the beauty of Krishna. Tena Krishnas tatprayasya swarupa bhuta kandarpasyeva shar pridita ramante natu prakritasya jagan mohana kandarpasya tasya tatra anadhikara deveti. So what is the meaning, implied sense? This is also Vyanjana. So this is also to show that Krishna and the gopis, when they are having their amorous pastime, this is not under the influence of the material Cupid, the Cupid of the material world, where people become agitated in their mind and they want to enjoy themselves. So this is their Swarupa Bhuta Kandarpa, Kandarpa which is within them, which is spiritual and not material. And if they are performing their Leela under the influence of that transcendental Cupid, which is Bhakti, Antaranga Shakti, and not the material attraction. So this material Cupid does not have jurisdiction in spiritual world. So therefore it says tasya tatra anadhikara deva, that he doesn't have the authority or influence. It is not possible by this material Cupid to influence anyone in the spiritual world, what to speak of in Braj, where Sakshat Manmatha Krishna is present. Tadanim Sakshat Manmathatvena Manomohan Sviya Madhuri Avishkaranam Tasham Tadrishya Api Virha Dukkhasya Vismarana Artham Niti Gayam. So Sri Krishna manifested that beauty, that sweetness, Sviya Madhurya Avishkaranam. So he manifested that beauty which attracts even the transcendental Cupid. So this is so that the gopis who were feeling the separation from Krishna and the suffering, they will forget that. So that was his purpose. So therefore he appeared there smiling. So now in the upcoming verses there is very interesting description by Sukadeva Goswami. As Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti said that the gopis, they worshipped Krishna with their bhava. So these upcoming verses will describe the different moods of the gopis. Primary gopis, not all of them. So Srimati Radha, Chandravali, Padma, Shabya, Lalita, and they will all act differently because bhava becomes manifest in action. Whatever we do in our life, we do according to our mental state. So these gopis all have, although they are all in Madhurya Bhav, but that Madhurya Bhav is different in different gopis. So therefore they also manifest or they act differently. So very interestingly, the commentator Vishwanath Chakravarti, also Jiva Goswami, they actually recognize the gopi, how they behaved when Krishna appeared in front of them. And that's why there is no name of any gopi here. Because the important thing here to be understood is not the name but the bhav. And that is the purpose of this. So tam vilokyagatam preshtham priti utfulla drisho balaha uttasthur yugpad sarva tanva pranam ivagatam. So when the gopis who saw Krishna coming, and Krishna who is their most beloved, preshtham, so priti utfulla drisha abala. So then their eyes widened out of love, because eyes are the place of expression of the bhava. All the bhava is expressed also with other things, but the most expressive sense in our body and especially on the face are the eyes. So through eyes the bhava is expressed. Therefore in modern psychology they talk about eye gazing, right? Eye gazing exercise. So why not nose gazing or teeth gazing? Because the inner bhava of the heart comes through the eyes. So therefore it is said priti utfulla drisha, that their eyes were utfulla, they were blooming like a flower, and blooming with what? Priti utfulla, because of love for Krishna, because they were praying for him, singing for his appearance, and now suddenly he comes. So immediately their heart opened, and then opening of the heart is opening of the eyes. When you are in happy mood, your eyes become wide. When you are in sad mood, then their eyes also, because the heart goes like that. When you are in fear, then your heart contracts. When you are in happy mood, your heart blooms, and that becomes manifest on your face, especially through the eyes. So therefore it is said priti utfullo drisho abala. So they are called here abala. Abala means without strength. So they have weakened, crying so much in separation, because this is one of the bhava which manifests in separation, in becoming emaciated. So they were emaciated, therefore they are called abala here. And they actually saw Krishna coming. So Krishna did not just drop in the middle of them, but he actually became manifest nearby, because he was hiding behind some tree there, and then he just came out of there. So therefore it says vilokya agatam. They saw him coming, and then they all became very happy. So uttasthu yugpat sarva. So before that they were all sitting on the ground, maybe lying down, because they are weak, emaciated, they are almost dead. That's why they said bhavad ayushamna. So now it is as if pranam iva agatam tanva, as if their bodies got their life back. Because remember they said that tvai dhrita asava tvam vichanvate, that our asava, our life air is in you, and you have gone away. So they were lying half dead on the ground. So now the life air came back, so they got up. So they are out of the ventilator now. So tanvaha pranam iva agatam. Immediately they got strength. So there is not much comment on this verse. So Tanvaha Kara Charanadaya. So Tanva, body, here refers to the bodily limbs. Means previously they did not have much strength even to stand or walk, but now their hands, feet all became nourished. So nourishment for devotee is bhakti. When a devotee gets the opportunity to do seva, then he is nourished by that. Otherwise, without service, he feels lifeless. So when Krishna went away, they could not do seva to him personally. So therefore they were lifeless. Now he is back, so they are back on their feet. So Agatam iti punarakti. So Agatam, he says there twice that Tam vilokya Agatam prashtha, and then Pranamiva Agatam. Punarakti, there is punarakti. It's only once. Once is for the life, other is for him. Tasam murchita namuthanam tadagaman ek hetukam iti spashtikartam. Okay, so he says that why he has used the word Agatam twice. So it is to inform that before that they were in the state of swooning. They were fainted because of separation. And now they could stand up. Tadagaman ek hetukam iti spashtikartam. So therefore, to make it clear that this life has come back into them because of his arrival, because he is the life. So prana saman. So he doesn't write more than that. So these verses also describe the various types of anubhavas which manifest in love, which are described in the Ujjwal Nilmani. Some of these verses are also quoted by Jiva Goswami in Priti Sandarbha. When he is describing, they are also cited in Ujjwal Nilmani, because you can trace the various types of Vilas, Lalita, Vibhoka, Kilkinchita, all these anubhavas are described there. So Kachit Karambujam Shorer Jagrihe Anjalina Muda Kachit Dadhar Tadbahum Amse Chandana Rushitam. So there is a description now how the gopis acted when he appeared there. So he says that some gopi took hold of Krishna's hand in his own hands, one hand. So Karambujam, one of his lotus hand, took in his both hands with great jubilation, muda. So muda anjalina shorer jagrihe karambujam. Sukdev Goswami is not leaving the word shori, he is still calling him as shori. And kachit dadhara tadbahum amshe chandana rushitam. And another gopi took hold of another hand of Krishna and put it on her shoulder, the arm which was decorated with sandalwood, chandana rushitam. So he is caught by two gopis. They want to make sure that he doesn't disappear again. Previously they made a mistake, so now they want to make sure that he doesn't play his trick again. So one gopi came to the left and held the hand and put it on the shoulder and holding it, and the other one is holding the hand. So now he cannot go. So now he is going to describe who are these two gopis. So it says Sarv Gopishu Mukhyanam कासांचित स्वस्वभावोचित प्रेम चेष्टितानि आह काचिदति panchadhi. So in the next 5 slokas, beginning from this one, Sri Sukadeva Goswami describes the different activities which are born of prema in accordance to their particular mood. Because everybody, gopi has got a specific mood of prema, and then manifest from that prema is some specific action. So this is the action performed by the prime gopi among all the gopis. So Sarva Gopishu Mukhyanam, or rather among all the gopis, the chief ones, because he's not only talking about this one, but the chief gopis among the various gopis. So there are 8 principal gopis. So basically he's talking about the 8 gopis here. So among them there is a description in 5 slokas. So Karambujam Dakshinameve Itri Uttarardh Vyakhyayam Vakti Bhavitvat. So one gopi took hold of Krishna's lotus hand, and this is the right hand. So you see they are going to now identify which hand. So why right hand? He says this will be understood from the later description. So because of the second part of this sloka, Kachid Dadhara. Dakshinameva iti uttarardh vyakhyam vyakti bhavitvat. Jagrihe, so she took hold. What does this signify? He says Vinaya Maya Matriyat Sparsha Utsukyatcha iti bhava. That she has the Vinaya Maya Matriya, means friendliness coupled with humility. Means she is not Vamya, she is Dakshina Gopi. Because Dakshina Gopis are like that. And she was very eager to touch Krishna. Sparsutsakyat. Because when you love somebody, you want to touch that person. Iyam adarmaya sansparshat tadiyatamaya ghrita snehavati kanta paradhina dakshina cha prathamyat sarvajeshta. So this is his analysis now. That this touching Krishna's hand with respect, this signifies that her mood is of tadiyatamaya. So there are 2 moods among the devotees, also among the gopis. One is tadiyata mood, other is madiyata mood. So tadiyata mood means that the devotee thinks, or here gopi thinks, that I belong to Krishna. And madiyata means that Krishna belongs to me. So if I belong to him, then I have to be respectful to him. If something belongs to you, means that object is under your supervision, your care, you are the master, you are the owner. And if you belong to me, then I am the overpowering person. So here, her mood is tadiyatamaya, and this is called ghrita sneha. So sneha, which is also manifestation or a level of prema. So mana sneha, pranaya mana sneha. So this sneha is of 2 types. One is called ghrita sneha, another is called madhu sneha. So one is sneha or prema like ghee, another is like honey. So which means that ghee does not have its own taste, but it makes everything tasty. Right? Wherever you put ghee, it becomes tasty. But if you take plain ghee, then there is not much taste in it. You don't want to even take it. If you have to do panchakarma in Ayurveda, they make you drink ghee for 1 week in the morning, empty stomach. So it's quite tough, and every day they increase the amount. Start with a small amount and then go on increasing. So that is called Ghrita Sneha. The other one is called Madhu Sneha, the love like honey. So honey is tasty by itself, and it also gives taste to wherever you put it. Makes even the medicine taste nice. And it is easily digestible. Honey is called the pre-digested food. Ghee needs power to digest, although it also helps in digestion, but it's not like honey. So therefore this gopi is Ghrita Snehavatis. Her love for Krishna is categorized as like ghee. And she is Kanta Paradhina. She is under the control of the lover, which is Krishna, and therefore Dakshina. She is belonging to the Dakshina group. And Prathamyat Sarva Jyeshta, and because she is the one who came first, so therefore she is the number one in the group of this. So means she is Chandravali. She is how she is recognized. So Chandravali is the first one. And then the second one, Chandanena Rushitam Bhakti Chedena Liptam Bahu Vamameva Swakanta Vamabhaga Eva Sthita Auchityat. So she has taken the other arm and put on her shoulder. So now how to decide which side she is? It says because she is also Dakshina, so she stands on the left side of Krishna. This is also standard. And therefore if she is on the left side, then she took the left arm, and then it signifies that the earlier gopi took the right arm. So that's what it says, that from the second part we understand that the first gopi took the right arm. So Chandanena Rushitam Bhakti Chedena, so there was some Angarag design on the left arm. She put it on the shoulder. Swakanta Vambhageva Sthita Auchityat, because it is appropriate for her to stand on the left side of the lover. Iyam Adar Gandhina Swakartrik Alinganena Kinchit Ghrit Sneha Mishra Madhu Snehevati Vyakta Sakhya Kinchit Swadhin Kanta Dakshinacha. So he describes that because she also has got a sense of respect, honor, and she is embracing him because he is embracing the hand, and therefore she is also Ghrit Sneha mixed with Madhu Sneha. She has got both, and is a Sakhi or friendly mood. She is also Swadhina, under control of Krishna, and also belonging to the Dakshina, to the right group. So he says that this is Syamla Gopi. She is recognized as that. And Kachid Anjalina Grihnat Tanvi Tambula Charvitam Eka Tadanghari Kamlam Santapta Stanayoradhat. Then one gopi, she took the tambul which was chewed by Krishna in her hand, and another gopi, she took the foot of Krishna and put it on her breast. Tadangri kamlam santapta stanayor adhat. So one who was suffering in separation, then she took the foot. So Anjalina Grinad Adviti Grinad Anjalina Grinad Iti iyam dasya praya maitriya kantadhina dakshinacha. So he says that she took the tambula in her hand. So this also signifies that she is Sakhi, or having the Maitri with the predominance of servitorship, dasya, because that's how the servants do that in the olden times when kings were there. So, and she is therefore Kantadhina, under the control of the lover, and Dakshinacha. She also belongs to Dakshina. So she is supposed to be belonging to Chandravali group. Her name is Shabya. She is a friend of Chandravali. So they are all Dakshina gopis. And Angri Kamlam, this is the fourth one. Angri Kamlam Dakshinameva Swahastabhyam Gritva Bhumopvishta Staniyor Nyadhat. So this gopi took one foot, which means the right foot, with her two hands, and she sat on the ground and put the foot on her breast, which they were talking so much in the Gopi Git. Staneshwarpe. Tatascha vam bhujena kantaya skandham alambye vam charnena bhuma vastabhya Krishna sthito iti. So now you can picture that Krishna's one hand is on the shoulder, means the left hand is on the shoulder of the one gopi, and now his left foot is on the ground. So he is balancing him on the shoulder of this gopi, and then the right foot is up and is on the breast of this gopi, and his both hands are caught by one gopi, and the other one is taking the tambul in the hand. So he is completely caught. They are not lifting him up in the air. So tatascha vamu bhujena kantaya skandham alambya. So taking support from the shoulder of the gopi with the left arm, and vam charnena bhumam ashtabhya, and standing on the ground with the left foot. Krishna tasthav. This is how he stood there. Idam maitriya praya dasya kantadhina dakshina chaiti. So this gopi who is taking the right foot, she is predominantly on the Maitri with Dasya Bhav. She is also Kantadhina, under the lover, and belonging to the Dakshina, the right camp. Ataime tadiyata maya ghrit snehavatya prathmaya sakhyam. So these both are also therefore belonging to the Chandravali camp. So this one is also Padma. So Padma, Sabya, Chandravali and Shyamala. These four have been recognized in these two groups, and they all four are Ghrit Sneha and Tadiyatamaya. So they belong to Krishna, they have this mood, and that's why they have the Dasyatva Bhav also in them. So now we'll stop here. The next one will come, the chief from the other side. Any question? Yeah.
Babaji, in these two shlokas we have the description of the four gopis, and you gave also their names. However, the names are not given by Vishnu Chakravarti Pad. Is there any other?
Jiva Goswami gives them.
All right.
Jiva Goswami writes a very long commentary, maybe we can read it, on sloka number 8. That's where he recognizes them. He does this in Priti Sandarbha also. Yeah, very 3-page commentary on verse number 8. I'm sure the whole thing is there in Priti Sandarbha also. Anything else? Yeah.
Yes, Bobby, in the translation that I have, the second gopi is named as Shyama, but you mentioned her as Shyamala. So what is the right name of both?
Shyamala.
Shyamala. Okay.
Savesji.
Ramji, so I would like to know where the acharyas and specifically Jiva Goswami know the names from, since they're not mentioned in Bhāgavatam. Is it from their own inner realization, or did they read it in some other Purana?
No, these names are mentioned in Skanda Purana. That is one place. And I think I refer to them in Priti Sandarbha commentary. They are also found in Adi Purana, but I definitely remember seeing them in Skanda Purana.
And one more thing is Tadiyata always combined with Dakshina, or can there be also Vamya gopis with Tadiyata mode?
Tadiyata generally will have the dasyatva in it. So that's what Tadiyata means.
And that would be more Dakshina or not necessarily?
Yes. Okay.